What's up, guys? It's Hardcore Stocks here. In this video, we shall be taking a good look at Apple. This is really a nice time to be making a video on Apple. I think it's roughly a week and 3 days from now since I last made a video on Apple. And right now I'm glad that I'm making this video for each and every one of us. So this is definitely from the last time I made a video on Apple. You could see I gave 3 major scenarios that could play out right here for Apple. The first major scenario was me stating the fact that Apple could end up trying to rally all the way to this resistance right here at $346. It could get rejected from there and end up dropping all the way down to this major level to find support before rallying much higher. This was definitely that scenario playing out right here. So you could see all this right here are definitely things we should be expecting from Apple. So in terms of how things are playing out right here, Apple was roughly down to the 0.63%. Not bad, because obviously you could see from the weekly time frame that Apple has been in an uptrend, because obviously if I move this to the 3-month time frame right here, you could see it clearly that since last year July, Apple has basically been up roughly how many percent? Apple has roughly been up. Basically, it went as high as 100%, and it is currently down. It's currently still up 82%. So this right here, I think it's enough reasons to still be bullish on Apple for sure. Like, who wants to be bearish on Apple? You could see clearly right here that this is also another trend line for Apple, which Apple has definitely been respecting. So without wasting much of your time, where are we currently on Apple? The situation of things right here, Apple is doing very well, and like I said, we could get rejected from this level, drop all the way down here, find support, which is looking like obviously there is a positive reaction from this level. Apple could end up rallying much higher to 346, breaking out, finding support, and rallying even much higher. And with the look of things right here, I'm looking at this chart right now that, okay, worst case scenario right now for Apple is Apple breaking below this major support at $300, retesting this resistance and dropping all the way down to this major trend line at 276, rallying much higher from there. I think this is probably going to be the worst case scenario right here for Apple. Nothing other than that, because obviously we could see that the S&P 500 right now is not really doing that great, because obviously from the 4 hours time frame was definitely the chart I used to analyze the whole top 500 cryptos. You could see clearly right here we got rejected from majorly this resistance right here. We got rejected from here, and you could see we've been dropping ever since. So you could see clearly right here that even the S&P 500 has failed to break out of this resistance right here. And because it has failed to break out of this resistance, it only means one thing, that we could see the S&P 500 retesting this resistance right here at 7,701 and dumping even much lower. This could end up being a possible scenario for the S&P 500. Now, I think with Apple, now that I've kind of analyzed what is going on right now in terms of news, there are different news right here for Apple. And the first news that I could see, the first article I could find right now is Apple's next CEO could spend more to catch up in AI. Now, obviously, that's true, because Apple, compared to majority of the mobile device market out there, we could all agree that Apple is lagging way behind in terms of the AI race, the AI trends, in terms of Siri trying to catch up, but it has really been difficult for Apple developers to, do majority of these AI things. And also, we could also realize that, I don't know if you watch Marcus Brownie, you definitely get a whole lot of these setbacks, which Apple has not really been improving compared to its fellow competitors like Google Pixel, especially Samsung. So yeah, back to this article, we could see this article first appeared on Guru Focus. iPhone maker Apple Incorporation could enter a more aggressive phase of AI investments, with John Tennus taking over as CEO on September 1st. Apple's next chapter could be more focused on AI and possibly include higher investment, said Bank of America. That would be a big departure for a corporation that has traditionally been more cautious about a big technological investment. That concern for investor is whether Thanos concludes Apple needs to spend more aggressively to narrow the gap with rivals who have already committed massive amounts to AI infrastructure, just like I said. So nothing really much here. And beside, I heard that the coming CEO, which is John Thanos, he's already been in the engineering team. He is an engineer, I guess, if I could remember correctly. And hopefully someone that has knowledge about the engineering part rather than the first perception from an iPhone, is definitely going to want to invest in this AI whole narrative thing. So I think, yep, this is obviously the first article. You could go look for that on in Yahoo Finance to read. The second article right here is Apple said to reportedly be cutting, or said to reportedly cut hundreds of jobs from Siri Vision Pro team. Now, this is definitely coming from a place of, when there is low demand and there is there is high availability of this product, then, what is the need for Apple to keep the people who are meant to be working in this department, which is the Vision Pro and Siri? Because obviously it only means one thing: when you keep the same people in the system, you keep on getting the same result. That is for obviously Siri, the Siri developers. But for Vision Pro, I think it's just obvious. I think sometimes these technology companies are always way ahead of themselves. They came up with this Vision Pro device, which the world wasn't even ready for, because obviously for these devices to be available and ready, they just don't have to be expensive, which they are expensive, but also what am I trying to say? But also they have to be available programmers for these particular devices. Now, these devices are very expensive, which is not what regular Joe like me, I myself, could get. So, it's mainly for those who have money. But even if you have the money, the platforms that you're supposed to use these gadgets for, they are not good. They are not top quality as what we are seeing on PS5 and every other thing out there that people enjoy doing on their gadgets. So yeah, that's just basically it right here. Nothing too serious for me to go all around here, but it all depends on how things play out for Apple. But I do know that this is just an opportunity for people to ape into Apple before Apple takes a crazy move to the upside, especially given the fact that the iPhone 18 will be launching in September, I guess. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed this video, subscribe, turn on post notification, smash the like button, and share this video with your friends, guys. Peace out.